What's up guys, it's your boy Curly Fries, and have you ever had to... Hey, you know how you told me not to go across the railroad tracks? Yeah? Did you? I went across the railroad tracks. Okay, well, what happened when you went over? I might have seen a casino. Did you lose all of your money? Yeah, we're completely broke. What do you mean, we? I also used your money. Why would you do that? Because I was running low. Oh my... Okay, please tell me that's it. No. What else happened? I might have gambled my soul away to the devil. What? Why would you... Okay, well, what does this have to do with me? Well, I gambled your soul away too. What? Did he ask for my soul? No, he didn't even know who you are. I just thought that it would be worth more if I combined both of our souls together and, like, offered it. But he didn't ask for it. So then why did you gamble it? I don't know, I was scared, I was confused, I just lost a lot of money, I was like, I crossed the railroad tracks, I was in the middle of the woods. Okay, so what are we supposed to do now? Both of us don't have our souls then. He said that if we collected a bunch of souls of the other debtors, that we could get our souls back. And by we, I mean you. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Cuphead. It is hands down one of the biggest indie game franchises of all time. From its iconic art style, to the gameplay, to even just the clips of streamers, failing. I really like the game, and today I want to rank every single boss using an arbitrary point system that I just made up. Here's a quick explanation of the point system before we get into the ranking. So the way that it works is there are 3 different categories a boss is going to get judged on. Those are fun, design, and other things. So fun is just like how fun the boss is. That's not really that hard to explain. Design, from, character design of the boss, to the music design in the level, to the sound effects, to the background and stuff like that. All the design is just in the design category. Now the other things category, this is also like the miscellaneous, or like it's kind of hard to fit it in a category group. This is special things like if there's platforms in the level, or if there are little minions, or if there are little gimmicks, that only one boss specifically has. Kind of just the other things separate from the main boss. In every single category, you can get a score between any whole number from 1 to 10. So an example for a boss would be like, fun getting a 3, design getting a 7, and other things getting a 2, which in total would be 12. So each boss is ranked by its final score. So from, I think it's 27 to 1, 27 being the lowest, 1 being the highest. So another thing, I am not including like the mini bosses, so things like King Dice, all grouped into King Dice. Or I'm even counting the King's Leap. I'm putting all of them in one, because it's kind of a package deal, I'm not going to rank the pawns by itself or the knight by itself, they're all together. So, also, there's no run and gun levels. I could rank them, but I might make a short about that, because it's not that... I didn't really like the run and gun levels that much. But, anyway, let's jump into the rankings.
Here's a real high-class cup. Be gone!
Be gone, Satan. In all seriousness, if I was to rank the devil boss fight, it would be fun being 7, design being a 4, other things being a 4. But I'm a God-fearing man, so it's 0, 0, 0, putting it at the bottom of the list. I do think he's a very good way to end the game, but, I do have a little bit of trauma from the fight, because whenever I was first playing, it took me 2 days to beat him. This was my first run through.
Here's a real high-class cup. You're up!
He's just kind of boring. I know people say him and Root Pack are kind of both the tutorial, but I would say Root Pack is really the tutorial, because Goopy is just so easy, it's not even fun. It's boring. And the only thing that I could put there is the question marks that you get to parry, and they had to put those in so that you could S rank it to get the 3 parries, but yeah, he's really boring and not that fun.
A brawl is surely brewing. It's on!
Final score of 9, tying with Goopy. I'm putting him in front of Goopy because He's just a little bit better than Goopy. He's not boring, but he is very annoying. When I did my first ever playthrough, Dr. Call's Robot is the reason I stopped playing for a couple months, because I couldn't beat him. I mean, now when I play, he's very easy. Like, I literally just beat him today. He took me probably 5 minutes. Like, now he's easy. Back then, I hated this dude.
This match will get red hot. Here goes.
I don't really like playing against her. Like, her design is cool. That's fine. But her last phase kind of just isn't fun. And some of those little minions, like the Cupcake, just isn't fun to play against. Though, it's not that it's hard. The boss has gotten way easier for me. But it's just not. She doesn't rank that high for me personally.
Great slam and then some. You're up.
It's a very simple boss. You know, it's not good. It's not bad. But is the perfect first boss? I do think. Nah, actually, I don't think anything. I think this boss is just It's a good introduction boss. It's not that fun to play against once you get good at the game.
A real high-class bout. Now go.
The first DLC boss, I don't like playing against him. I think of the DLC bosses, he's the worst. He's boring to play against. His only good phase, I'd say, is the one when you're fighting the snowman, because the first phase is just not fun to play against. The third phase is kind of boring. Yeah, I don't really like Mortimer Freeze. I remember seeing him in the art book before the DLC came out, thinking like, wow, but you don't get to see Mortimer, you just see the giant snowman. So I thought we were gonna fight this huge snowman monster thing, and then it just turned out to be like a little goober dude. Like, ew.
A brawl is surely brewing. You're up.
Not that fun. The platforms, there is a boss that does platforms way better. I think Rumor, sometimes it can feel, when you're starting out, you can feel kind of cheated by the platforms. Also, the last phase, it's very annoying to damage her. Unless you have like the crack shot, which made it easy, or the lobber, or, you know, the auto aim one, I forget the name of that one. Those make it easy, but like, if you don't have those, Rumor isn't a fun fight.
Good day for us. Well battled. Here goes.
It's a pretty okay boss. I don't have any strong opinions. The only opinion that I have on this guy is that the tiger slot in the slot machine is the most annoying one. The bull one's pretty easy, and then the frog one is just like, I don't even have to think about it. I can do it with my eyes closed. It's so easy.
A brawl is surely brewing. And begin.
Alright, we got Sally stage play. This is the other 15. I'm putting her above Ribby because I think she's a little bit better. There's nothing super special about her. I think she's just middle of the road. I do think it's cool how there's like the alternate split, you know, I almost said split decisions. The split, you know what I mean. Like, she can either like get married or become a nun, you know, it's kind of weird for a play, honestly. And then the last phase with like the thing, she's just okay.
Here's a real high-class bout. You're up.
I mean, personally, I do have a little bit of beef with Hildeberry because whenever I was doing my when I was going through an S ranking, which I'm still doing right now, she took me a while because of just getting under that time limit. It was just so annoying. But I do think she is a good introduction to the plane levels. I think of the plane levels, she's like, she's okay.
A great slam and then here goes.
Love the music, love his design, but the cart gimmick is kind of annoying. His final phase, kind of annoying. I mean, there's just nothing. He's okay.
A brawl is surely brewing. And begin.
Again, this is like, we've gotten to the point where these are just the bosses that I don't have any strong opinions on. These are just middle of the road, meh bosses. Kind of forgettable. I do think that his minions are cool, I guess. What's it called? The barrel up there used to be really annoying whenever I was first playing through. Now everything's easy, but yeah, I'm gonna have to put Captain Briny Beard kind of in the middle.
A great slam and then it's on.
Phantom Express. Whenever I was doing this, I originally thought Phantom Express was gonna be higher on my list. It's only at number 15. I mean, it's pretty okay. It's pretty fun. I mean, I like the idea of having an undead train. I think that's cool. But the cart thing where you like parry it, again, it was hard whenever I was first playing through. Now it's very easy. You know, all in all, it's just a pretty fun, okay boss. I do think it's kind of being the last boss before you go into like the final 2 fights. It's kind of, nah, it's kind of lackluster.
A great slam and then some. Now go!
We got Cagney Carnation. I think this is the last Isle 1 boss on the list. I'll verify if I'm correct or not. Love his song, love to play against him, and you know, he's got that one move, I kind of forget, you know, he's that one move. Just love that guy.
A brawl is surely brewing. Now go!
I think he's cool. I think his stage is cool. The 3D model in the back is like awesome, and his music's okay. But I really like Jimmy. He's up here in the group of 19s. I think I have 3 or 4. 3. There's 3 in the 19s. He's right in the middle. Cagney's at the bottom of the but top of the 19s. I put
a great slam and then some. Here goes.
The highest of the 19s. You know, I really like the little guys and how they're like holding him, and then they like his death animation is them like getting ready to like fry him. I do not like the sun phase because of the trauma it gave me whenever I was first playing through, where I just for some reason couldn't beat him for a while. But now again, he's very easy, and I think he's one of the better plane levels, though he isn't the best. That will come later. We haven't seen a DLC boss in a while. A nice design. I think it's like an okay fun-wise, but the one thing that's really helping push this boss up is that fake knockout screen, because that's just such a smart idea. It didn't get me when I first played through because I did see all like the streamers do it, and then, you know, the streamer reactions of being like, oh, it's so easy, I'm done. And they're all on like 1 health, and then it's like, what? You know, though I do remember the Penguin Zero clip where it's like everybody's freaking out, but then he's just like, oh, guess there was more. Well,
I earned that win. What? Ah, I see, there was more. Interesting, interesting. Run it back.
but I do think the Moonshine Mob is an okay boss.
This match will get red hot. Now go!
I like how it's like in the first phase, he's like in the tank. The second phase, the tank kind of just blows up. In the third phase, you think he's eaten, you think he's dead. You're like, oh my gosh, there's a cat. And then when he dies, you realize he's controlling the cat, and the cat was fake. This is crazy. Also, I'm pretty sure that it was like, you know, because of the 2D animation thing, I'm pretty sure it was like a sort of a spin-off or like a nod to Tom and Jerry, which I love Tom and Jerry. Yeah, Werner Werman is number 10, the first number 10 on, the only number 10 on this list, the first top 10 boss.
Good day for a swell battle. Now go!
Final score also 21. I'm putting him above Werner because personally I just like Glumstone a little bit better. He's a great design. Love how in the background you can like see other like of his like almost brothers, I guess, just like other giant mountain people. Love that. When you're watching, I mean, I told you before, I watched all the DLC before I played it, but you know, when you see them like snap and then they go in the mouth, I was just like, whoa, it was crazy. And I love those little gnome dudes.
Good day for a swell battle. Here goes.
It's above Glumstone because I'm Southern, so, you know, I have to give rep to the Southern boss. You know, I love the cowboy level, and honestly, it's a really good plane level too. Esther Winchester, you know, the phases are really cool. I like how, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, she got sucked in her own machine, now she's like sausages. Just a really cool design, very fun. Love Esther Winchester.
Good day for a swell battle. Now go!
Pretty fun boss, you know. Like, the way that the image flips in the final phase messed me up when I was first playing. It took me so long. Now, because I'm a seasoned veteran Cuphead, it's so easy for me. But, you know, I like the little plane puppies. Great level.
Here's a real high-class belt. It's on!
I told you I'm encasing all of them into one. I think it's very fun. Love the only parry thing. But my least favorite one is the bishop because it's kind of not that. It's just not fun. But I do think the hardest one for me to get whenever I was originally playing is the queen, because like the way like the timing works, it was just super annoying. But The King's Leap is a very, very fun, group of levels. Well, now we've made it to the top 5 bosses in Cuphead, according to me. If you disagree, again, you're wrong.
Class bout. It's on.
Great design. Love the little minions. The little dudes, I think my favorite little dude, probably... I think I like the seahorse that spits the water the best. I mean, not gameplay-wise. Obviously, it's messing you up. I don't like that. But I do think him or the turtle. I like the turtle, too, because he's kind of like, her, and then, like, spits the thing on his back. Obviously, it took me a while to, just jam the buttons quick enough to get unstuck. But really cool level. Love it.
This match will be red hot. And begin!
Alright, this is the final boss, or the second final boss, but this is the first one we've seen in a while. Just a solid 8 all around the board, final score of 24. I mean, he's a very good final boss. But I'd say the salt shaker part where you have to shoot those, that's probably the least fun, and kind of just ruins it for me because most of the fight is really fun. First phase, great. The phase where you're fighting him when he's spinning and then there's a thing, that's great. Final phase, great. But then this the salt shaker thing, which takes up most of the fight, just it's kind of boring. I don't really like that part. Now we're into the top 3 bosses in Cuphead, in my personal opinion. Number 3, I put the Angel and the Devil, the secret boss, I guess you could say. Only beating Chef Saltbaker by 1 point, 25 in total. I love this fight. It is a little hard to get used to, but once you get used to the switching, it's so fun. You feel so smart whenever you're just once you get it down and you're shooting and then, oh, the thing's coming, and then you turn around and then you shoot, but then you turn around so you can go parry that thing, and then you go turn around and then you do that. Great fight. Just love this fight. But, again, Begone Demon.
And begin!
The first 10 we actually have on this list. I love this fight so much. Even the way, you feel great once you figure out, the parrying with, the dice thing and how you can just, all the mini bosses are fun. I'd say my least favorite, probably the monkey. No, the monkey's not that fun. But even, the part when you're fighting King Dice, you feel so smart once you've got it down. The parrying, it's so satisfying, and then you're shooting him, and then it's oh, such a great fight. Now, the number 1, my personal favorite boss in the entire game of Cuphead, might be a little you might not be expecting this because I know a lot of people don't like this fight.
A great slam and then stop. And begin!
I really love this fight. One, just even the platforms don't feel too... it doesn't feel like you ever get screwed over by them. Even just the music is great, and then the character, even the little death messages, he's nice to you the whole time. He's all the other ones are you're trying to take my soul, I'll beat you. But then he's sorry, didn't mean to put you in the hot seat. Even the final phase, if you just have a charge shot, which charge shot is the most satisfying gun to use, you can maneuver your way around. You feel so smart once you've got it down. I love this guy. Even when I first played through, even though it took me such a long time, I just really like the design of this guy. I don't know. I just love Grim Matchstick. If you made it this far, my guess is that you liked the video. Maybe help me out by subscribing. Or you could check out my last video where I explained what makes the perfect video game sequel. It gave some actual game examples and what some games do right. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace.